All right, so we're back. We're gonna put the gates. Here, let me just show you. RPM belts on. All right. I've got a bunch of them because they were back ordered and they all came in. I got different sizes for different pulley right there. The 680. So this is the HD belt, the greenback. I don't know if we can. Let's try to do this. Can you see that? It's very, very smooth. This is the one that was on there. It looks like it took a little bit of a beating at some point. Anyway, so the new one is the gates same length. However, look at that. You see the sparkles? Yeah, the camera should pick that up pretty easy now. It's much, much rougher. So we got that. Let's try putting them side by side. Right, you can kind of see it. That's regular belt, Gates RPM belt. Regular, Gates RPM. We're gonna see how they hold up. Alright. That should be for the 2-2 pulley with the stock tensioner. We're trying the stock tensioner for a couple reasons over the Whipple. Whipple's off right now, but we're probably going to go back to that. We wanted to diagnose stock tensioners issues and then Whipple issues. But overall, the rest of the Whipple stuff looks good. So here we are. It's actually disassembled. Now we're going to reinstall the new belt and see what happens. Here's that finish, that custom finish that was on there. I don't know how big you can see it. There we go. Oh baby. All right. There. We didn't touch anything, but I always just like to make sure it's all good. That's it. Let's fire it up. So, cold start E85, pump E85. Alright, so we're about to try some 6130s on the new belt and pump E85. So we'll just hit this camera with the Dragy camera. We'll try that. The tires are now at 15 PSI cold. Normally we start at 17, but it's a little chilly out. It's 56 degrees, but it's bright and sunny. We'll make 2 or 3 passes if we can, if the highways are good, and we'll go from there. 160, 160, you better have a really fast car. And it better be a lot faster than mine if you're talking about doing like 60 to 160. You know, I don't see the point now. Why not go 70 to 170? Like, if you're just going to match the gas and not involve any driver skill, then, you know, I don't get it. But anyway, that's what Mod to Fame wanted to race me at, 6160. So we'll do that. That's what the Ghost ZR1. He wanted to start at 65. I think that is crazy for our cars. You know, we might be at 1,000, but we're not way above 1,000 horsepower where you need to start at 65. I feel like 50 is like the sweet spot for racing realistic cars. Slower cars, if you make like less than 800, you know, 45 is probably a good roll, because that's where it's fun at. You know what I mean? Like that torque hit. If I have to start in third, you know, that's people that want like gimme races. Like, they just 50 to 150 race is, I think, like that's the standard. Until you get into like the supercar realm, and by supercar I mean like the really fast GTRs or the R8s and Huracans and things like that. But for a car that drops like 150, maybe mid 150s, that's about where a fair race is. You know, 50 to 150. If you can't beat me by then you just suck at driving and your car is not as fast as you think it is. Anyway, so a 4.5 and a 4.4, both shifting early. So there's 2 to 3 tenths there, and both starting way high in the mile per hour. But I figured out that the tire pressure, whenever it's at hot, I'm going to check when I get to the gym now, Dover Gym, check it out. I started at 15 or just a hair under 15 PSI cold, and it seemed to work once they got a little bit of heat in them. Normal driving with a couple of bumps. 15 cold, it's probably 17 and a half, maybe hot. We'll check there. But I feel like that works. That's going to be a winning setup for racing people. And like I said, there's always that top 1% that I'm not in. But as far as this car, you know, yeah, if I do what I just did right there, it's a very potent setup, because it's consistent and it's repeatable, and it wasn't even like optimal. It wasn't an optimum time. That's